WDWL TV Multiplex with great anticipation. We bring you the pride of this station, the grumpy old man. The grumpy old man, take 2. The grumpy old man, take 3. The grumpy old man, take 4. And, the grumpy vulture. Would you like to take your bow? Take your bow. Very nice. All right. You still have to go back in your corner. Look at the camera. There you go. Greetings, friends. I wasn't sure I was going to be back on. Oh, God, did I cause a disaster. It got so bad with me watching a video and trying to make adjustments to Prism, I had to uninstall it completely. Blew it away. Start from scratch like a beginner. Oh, yeah. I had this thing so fucked up. It was so bad that Bill Gates couldn't have straightened it out. Just saying. Oh, yeah, it was bad. No more. I watched those videos. Mainly the second one. The first one, that guy talks so fast. He needs to try out for a new category in the Olympics. Speed talking. Oh, my God. So I watched the second video. Now, this guy, he talks a little fast. But what I'm able to do, I listen for a bit, stop, take notes, rewind, listen to it again, check my notes. Now I have a whole page of notes. I will start implementing tomorrow because I wanted to put a stream on tonight. And I had to get Prism reinstalled on the computer. And then, you got to sign in and you got when if you put YouTube up and you got to sign in, and you put Faceplant up and you got to sign in, and then I had to set the camera and I had to set the microphone. Now, the interesting thing, and I can't figure this out, I uninstalled Prism completely, blew it away, did a computer restart, I checked everything, no Prism. So, I found Prism 2025, a new update. So I installed Prism 2025. Now, remember, I blew it away. I got rid of it. I installed the latest version. Look what somehow came back. The clock. The fidget. Technically, nothing should have come back because I blew it all away. But the Gidget came back. Look, the clock. Come on. I hate this back-ass word camera shit. You point one place. Here we go. Let's try it this way. The clock. See? The fidget. The midget, or whatever they call it. I can't figure it out. Technically, I should have had to reinstall that, like with the microphone and the camera. The clock came back, which I'm happy about. That's one item I don't have to reinstall. And it came back in the same spot. I didn't have to realign it. The only thing, what I did, that worked. And now I can't figure anything out yet. So bear with me. I have a chat. I have a Prism chat going right now. I am not going to try to put it on screen like everybody does or even respond to it. I didn't install that. It came back with the clock. But I have a chat in the corner. Oh. I hope everybody can see it. Because I don't know if you can see it on your end. But I have a chat. And it appears to be all YouTube chat. Yeah, I see little YouTube mogos there. So, we're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe by the end of next week, I'll have this all figured out. But I got a chat. And it's multicolored. I love it. Every time somebody's name pops up, it's in a different color. So I got Nomad in pink, well, purple, lavender, and then in red, and gold, and green, and turquoise. I'm loving it. I have a chat on my stream. So, we're getting there. A lot has to do with the second video. That is more informative than the guy calling the horse race in the first video. But what I've been doing is I will listen until he finishes a paragraph. And I stop. Then I back it up. And I take notes. I'm getting the notes basically in grumpy talk. You know, he'll say this, and Grumpy will write this. Something that I will understand. I'm putting it in grumpy Gringlish. But we are getting there. No. Believe it or not, I did get a little bit out of that first video. But he talks so goddamn fast. It's like he was calling a horse race. Okay, here we go. Time to get a widget in. Push this, click that, click this, click that. All right, we'll go to the next screen. What the hell did you say? Actually, what I've been doing, Nomad, I've been using them both. I cherry pick out of the horse race caller, and then I cherry pick out of the second one. And I got a shitload of notes, but they're in grumpy talk. So tomorrow, I'm going to run through the second video again because I got to make some more notes. And then what I have to do is compile the notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now I've got 1, 7, 9, 12, 14. You know, I'm writing all over the place. Tomorrow, Where did I put the notebook? Oh, it's in the other room. I have a bad habit of putting a note here and then putting a note over here and putting a note over here and putting a note there. Luckily, what I do is if I have note 1 here and note 3 here and note 6 over here, I put symbols, my own grumpy talk. And that way I compile everything with a symbol. One may have an X, one may have a square, one may have a triangle. I write all over the place. Probably why I got the shit kicked out of me in grade school. God damn it. I told you how to do a paragraph. Whack. Okay. Right now, my 5th grade teacher is rolling in her grave because, when she was teaching us how to do outlines, my outlines were never outlines. And she had a nice talk about weapons that teachers had back in the day. She had a wooden pointer because, they did things like write on a chalkboard. Now they put up a screen and an overlay, and, they ran it on a chalkboard. And then she would take this pointer and point at it. And then she would walk around the class and look at what you were writing. And I'll tell you what, I don't know what that pointer was made out of, but it was made out of some wonderful hardwood. Because I'll tell you what, she beat the shit out of me with that pointer and never broke it. Yeah, teachers could do that back in the day. I tell kids today, you're lucky. Because back when I was in school, if you did something to piss a teacher off, she could literally pick you up and smack the fuck out of you. And then, if you told your parents, they smacked the fuck out of you. It was like a prison camp instead of a school. Jesus Christ. All the way through high school. And, middle school and high school, they had this, what they called corporal punishment. Oh, yeah. It was in the form of a board about this long. It looked like a cricket mallet. And they would make you lay over a desk and hold on. And then they would wind up, whack! And your ass came about 3 feet off the floor. And then they would have you walk around the classroom, rubbing your ass to get the next one, because they all came in 3s. Yeah, you didn't just get one swat. You got 3. And by the time you had your 3rd one, you couldn't feel your ass, which in a way was good, because your ass was about as purple as a German plum. And God forbid, you would happen not to be wearing your pants when you traipsed through the house, and one of your parents saw your purple ass. Oh! Because then you got number 4. Whack! Yeah, it was a lot different back in the 50s and early 60s. Believe me. You kids are fucking pansies today. Anybody that managed to make it to age 18, you should have got a Bronze Star for that. Oh, yeah, teachers, they could, and you know, the school board stood behind it. They stood behind them teachers. Not today. If a teacher even looks cross-eyed at a kid, oh, there goes your job. There goes your retirement. Yeah. I tell kids today, you have it so you're like marshmallows today. Going through school back in the 50s and 60s was like boot camp. Like I say, if you survived, you not only lucked out and got your diploma, you should have got a Bronze Star, should have got the Medal of Valor. Believe me. And it started all the way back in kindergarten. I was telling my neighbor, and she don't fucking believe it. So I emailed one of my old classmates because she was my neighbor. We stay in touch all these years. I said, send an email to this email address and explain what it was like in kindergarten. Teachers back in the day did not like lefties. If a kid was crayoning with their left hand, the teacher would smack their hand with a ruler, take the crayon out of the left hand and put it in the right hand. And she would say, lefties is a sign of stupidity. You don't want to be stupid all your life. Write with your right hand. And they would smack the left hand with a ruler. Now, luckily, I learned to write with my right hand. They did their damnedest to convert lefties. I know two that actually converted. I also know three, that to this day are lefties. My sister, I have two sisters. I'm the oldest. That's why Grandpa spoiled the fuck out of me. Not to mention I was a boy. My sister is 6 years younger. They were still doing this shit. But she can write with both hands. It's amazing. She'll start with her left and then convert to her right. Never even thinking about it. She can go back and forth. But teachers back in, now I'm not saying this was in every school across the nation. The school I went to, they hated lefties. Like I say, in kindergarten, they would try to do a conversion. And if you weren't converted by the end of kindergarten, first grade was even worse. I know one teacher, my first grade teacher. If you were a lefty, she would ace bandage your hand closed. She would wrap your left hand in an ace bandage until the end of school. So you either wrote with your right hand or you didn't write at all. And teachers could get away with that shit. To this day, I don't know why parents of lefties did not protest. But back in the day, the school was 100% behind the teacher. You didn't say nothing wrong about a teacher. But yeah, we called it the old lefty conversion. I'll tell you, I don't know what it was with my kindergarten and first grade teachers. Thank God I learned to write with my right hand right away. I didn't want to go to school with a goddamn big welt on my hand and an ace bandage and bruises and yeah. And teachers, it was like open-ended. Whatever they wanted to do to you to torture you. Standing in the corner, they would make you put your head on the wall. And you had to stand there with your hands at your side. Third grade. Oh, I think it was Mrs. Underwood. I might be wrong. It's a long way back, and I've tried to suppress those bad memories. She would make you squat. And then, if you were like, oh, I can't squat anymore, she would make you kneel on hardwood floors, because that's what the school had, lumpy hardwood floors. But the best one, my 7th grade teacher, he was really sadistic. He would go into the gymnasium and get a medicine ball and make you hold it out and duck walk around the classroom if you pissed him off. Yeah. I still remember that medicine ball because I pissed him off a lot. I was like the class clown. He didn't appreciate Grumpy's humor. But the swatting, that was the worst. Because they all would make you lay over a desk. And they developed this upswing. So when the board connected with your ass, it would lift you off the floor. And then we had a sadistic metal shop teacher. He drilled holes in his. You ever get one across the ass with holes in the board? Oh, yeah. Like I say, if you managed to graduate, the president should have presented you with a medal. And you didn't dare complain. Because if you would happen to go home and say, Daddy, Mommy, and your parents went up and confronted the teacher, oh, did that teacher hold a grudge? Oh, I would see kids begging their parents, please don't. Yeah. If a kid's parents went up and complained about a teacher, you were lucky to live to see graduation. Oh, teachers were a bunch of sadistic assholes back in the day. These kids today, if a teacher happens to give a kid a stink eye, they're on the phone right away. Calling. Call the school board. Call the police department. You know. And then the teacher is lucky to have a job. Yeah, things have really changed over the years. I would love to see some of these fucking pansies that are coming out of school today go back in my day. They'd have never survived it. Come on. And then to make matters worse, Grumpy had the luck of having two alcoholic parents that were really sadistic. See, my father in 1947 was a Golden Gloves boxer. If you don't know what a Golden Gloves boxer is, gargle it. 1948, my mother was a professional wrestler. Grow up in that household, kids. I knew what a full Nelson was at the age of 5 years old, before some kids could even say the word full Nelson. Yeah. And then everybody wonders why Grumpy is 3 sandwiches short of a picnic. I'll tell you what, my mother was hard as nails. One day she got stopped on the highway. My mother smoked Chesterfield Kings. The state trooper walked up to the car and told her she was speeding. And I'll tell you what, she told that trooper to go fuck himself and never knock the ash off the end of her cigarette. Needless to say, the trooper let her off with a warning. But yeah, grow up in that kind of household, especially when they're tipping a few. Now, luckily, my 2 sisters, oh, they were girls. You don't hit girls. And if my sister pissed off one of my parents, guess who got the punishment? Oh, not the little prissy little girl. No, Grumpy. Yeah. Now maybe everybody understands why I really liked, looking forward to 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Because, see, I think my grandfather kind of suspected there was just a tad of childhood abuse going on. So he would pick me up, and I could get to spend the weekend. And he spoiled the fuck out of me. I could do no wrong. Of course, I was the first grandchild, and I was a boy. Oh. He never picked either one of my sisters up. No, just me. And then, every Saturday morning after we came home from the market, Grandpa and I would piss Grandma off, eating Limburger and onion sandwiches. She had the fastest apron in the West. You're stinking up my kitchen. Yes, we were. Come 7 o'clock Sunday night, I went into a real state of depression, knowing what I was going home to. Especially if either one of my little darling sisters pissed off my parents over the weekend, because both of them had long memories. And as soon as I come in the door, if I would just happen to do a little thing wrong, Oh, that whole weekend of my two sisters pissing my parents off came down on me like a nuclear explosion. Yeah. I would sit and count the days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I knew Grandpa was coming at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. I'd be up at 3 a.m. I'm ready. Can you get here early? That was before cell phones. The only phone we had was hanging on the wall in the kitchen. So I couldn't get to it. Although there was no dialing 911. All that was before 911. 911 wasn't even invented yet. Although I still remember the police number. The non-emergency number. 621-1212. No. Which one was the fire number? 1212 was police. 1414 was fire. I never got to dial it, though. Well, in school, in practice. On the old rotary dial phones. 6, 2, 1. But they weren't hooked up to anything. They were just practice phones. So people wonder why, the lights are on and nobody's home. It was that wonderful childhood I had. Yeah. A childhood that I have tried to suppress from my memory banks. Yeah, Grumpy has met with a few shrinks over the years. They don't work. I don't understand these guys. You're laying there. They're writing. I don't think they were writing any. I think they were writing like love notes to their girlfriends, Here, take this medication. Walk around like a zombie. I threw the medication up. Oh, all the greenies would really be up my ass right now because I would flush that shit. That's a no-no. Because it gets into the water table. And you could possibly be fucking up thousands of people in your area because you threw your medication in the toilet. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that anymore. I didn't know better. I always wondered why the fish in the stream at the end of our street swam sideways. It was all them pills I was throwing away. Yeah, you're not supposed to flush medication. Even to this day, and we have, 500% better water filtration plants, but you're still not supposed to flush medication. You could fuck up the fish. And it could get in the water table. Your next door neighbor, when they go to take a drink of tap water, they're like, whoa, I'll have another. Yeah. I'm trying to think. McLaughlin was one of the shrinks. He was boring as shit. You'd be telling him your life story, and next thing you'd hear, hey, Doc, I'm paying for this hour. Oh, sorry. I think he was just doodling in his notepad, drawing little squares with circles, and never did anything good for me. They give you that lecture, you know. I think you're exaggerating your childhood. Well, Doc, if they would have invented video cameras, I could have brought you proof. Unfortunately, all right, maybe I'm embellishing a little, but my father was a Golden Gloves boxer, and my mother was a professional wrestler. My sister's got the scrapbooks. I told her, send me a few pictures so I can show my crowd what my mother looked like in her wrestling garb. And that was back in the day when wrestling was real. Not this pansy shit they have today. Guy gets hit with a fucking metal chair and he gets up like, okay, you got anything better? I try to tell kids today, wrestling is all fake. 14 guys cannot do a flying leap and land on a guy in the middle of the ring and him get up and go, you got 15? You got one more? No, in the days when my mother was wrestling, it was real. And she practiced on me. No wonder I got a fusion in my neck. I think she fucked up my vertebrae. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Grumpy has a neat... I'll get the x-ray one day. I have a plate in my neck. It looks like one of those name tags for a dog. You know, the one that looks like a little bone. Yeah, that's what I got in my neck. And you can see, it's clear as day, the 4 Phillips head screws. Most precise x-ray I have ever seen. Halloween, I tape it to my head. And I open the door. Yes. Kids see that and they're like, holy shit, get out of here. Yeah, that's my Halloween costume, my x-ray. I tape it in my head, and all I see is the skeleton, yeah, with the bone in my neck. Yeah, it looks like a dog bone. I'm surprised it isn't engraved, you know, Buffy. I'd be like, holy shit. That's not a sterile instrument. You stole it off your neighbor's dog's collar. That was interesting surgery. The doctor never explained anything. He just said, when you wake up, you're going to be in a collar. The dog collar you stole from next door? Just kidding, Doc. Now, I knew friends in the neighborhood that had back and neck surgery. They always have a big incision in the back of their head. I wake up out of surgery, and I got a big bandage on my neck. Did this doctor graduate medical school? It was a new procedure. They don't go through the back, they go through the front. He never told me. I'm like, Doc, did you operate on my neck or my clavicle here? And then the collar, oh, was that comfy. Hard plastic. And I had to wear it for 6 weeks. And the doctor would tell me, now you can remove it to take a shower, but don't turn your head. What? Don't turn your head. You know how hard it is to take a shower? You take that collar off and you can't turn your head. Where's the shampoo? And then when you're done with the shower, you got to put the collar back on. 6 weeks. Then at the end of 6 weeks, I got a soft collar for 6 more weeks. Oh, okay, it's not too bad. My surgery was in the middle of July. The temperature and the humidity was up over the 90s. I sweat like a whore in church. I was stuffing towels up underneath that goddamn collar. My shirt was soaking wet. Wonderful. I couldn't wait to get that son of a bitchin' thing off. And then, finally, the doctor said, you can take the collar off. Okay. That first turn of the neck. Oh, God. Imagine 12 weeks your neck's in one spot. The doctor said, take the collar off and turn your head. Oh. I don't want to turn it the other way, Doc. Nastiest pain I ever had in my life. Of course, I've been through the mill, believe me. Carpal tunnel, both hands. Neck surgery. Throat surgery. 2 hernias. What am I leaving out? 2 throat surgeries. 2. Although, I didn't complain about either one of them. Because, and here's the strange thing. I'll tell you, people say don't get personal. I never had any symptoms whatsoever when I got diagnosed with cancer. Except, get this, I was having trouble swallowing my medication. So I went to an ENT. Everybody's looking like, what? Ear, nose, throat doctor, ENT. He takes a look down my throat with a scope, trying not to gag. He goes, Now when a doctor goes, that's not good news. I said, what's the about, Doc? I don't like what I see. Can I have a look? No. You can't connect that thing to the monitor so I can see? No. I need to take a better look. Well, what's the matter? Your scope ain't working all the way? I surgically have to take a better look. Really? Yes. So, I'm laying on that. And I'll tell you what, operating rooms, they're just a little warmer than a meat locker. So you're laying there, and the anesthesiologist says, okay, count back from 100. 109. Out. I wake up, and my throat feels like I had a tonsillectomy. If you don't know what that is, gargle it. And the doctor comes in, he goes, I need to schedule you for another surgery. Jesus Christ, didn't you get anything? But what were you doing in there? Okay. So, I have the second surgery. I wake up. The room is dark. It's about 22 degrees Fahrenheit. I thought I woke up in the fucking morgue. I even said, I'm in the morgue. I'm still alive. I'm in the morgue. And then the recovery room nurse comes and turns on the light and goes, oh, you're awake. Thank God I'm awake. Jesus. Can I get a couple of heated blankets? My balls are frozen. Literally. Had to use an ice pick. So once I recovered, thank God, the doctor comes in. He says, were you talking? Well, yeah. He looks at the nurse and goes, didn't you read the chart? She just kind of like, I'm not allowed to talk for 4 weeks. Because that problem swallowing happened to be a malignant tumor about the width of a piece of paper from my vocal cords. The doctor said, in another month gone by, Grumpy wouldn't have been talking at all. So then he tells me, you need to see an oncologist. What are you guys making money for the hospital, passing me around the doctors? What the? Okay. So I go see the oncologist. Mind, I didn't even know what an oncologist was. So he goes, Mr. Grumpy. Yes. You're going to need intensive chemotherapy. Really? Yes. Why? Well, you have tumors. I know. He took one off my throat. You have tumors everywhere. Really? Yes. I ended up. Now, I was feeling fine, except I couldn't fucking swallow. I was stage 4 plus. I had tumors on every organ. I had like 4 in this lung and 3 over here, 1 on my diaphragm, 2 on my stomach, everywhere. When they did the MRI with contrast, I lit up like fireworks on the 4th of July. All of it. So I start chemo. Something I recommend everyone try at least once in their life. Yeah. About 8 hours after I got home, for the next 12 to 14 hours, my face was where my ass had been. And you can't eat. And you can't drink. Because if you try, you're back sticking your face in that porcelain receptacle. And then it goes on for like 2.5 more days. You're to the point where it hurts to fucking breathe because your rib cage is so fucking sore. And then finally, you start to feel somewhat normal. And then it's time for another chemo treatment. Now, what makes it even worse, friends, here is something to gargle. Trypanophobia. And you can do it phonetically. Trypanophobia. I'll let you in so you don't have to gargle it. That is the fear of needles, which Grumpy has had since age 6. Because, see, back in the day, in the archaic days of medicine, they didn't have these fancy throwaway syringes. No, they would boil them to sterilize them. Well, Grumpy needed some sort of injection. I don't know what it was. I was 6. And the doctor gives me the injection. Ow, 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 ow! And then he goes, And of course, my parents and I went, And he's looking at the syringe. And the syringe did not have a needle. It was in my fucking arm. And what made it worse was when the syringe came out of the holder, the muscle worked wonders. It sucked the fucking needle, and they had to dig for it. Ever since then, if a doctor comes near me with a needle, I immediately grab him by the balls and say, I don't think we're going to use that. Does it come in pill form? Well, when you have chemo, they use a 20-gauge needle, which is about the size of this pen, in both hands. Oh, yeah, they want, like, I don't know what, there ain't much flesh there to shove a garden hose up your hand. And then you got, pumps on either side, multicolored bags of liquid. Then, here's the best part. I love this. In comes a nurse in a moon suit. She got gloves up to here, a moon suit, headgear, mask. I don't, what's it? And she has this nice big syringe. It was about this round. And it was filled with fruit punch. Well, that's what I thought. That's what it looked like, fruit punch. And luckily, I had already had an IV. Well, she connects this thing, and she starts feeding it in. And about halfway, I said, why the moon suit? She says, oh, that's toxic. If it gets on your skin, it could burn your skin off your hand. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, it won't hurt you going in your veins. What? Well, what that is, besides being nasty chemo medicine, it makes you lose your hair. Now, Grumpy did not lose like 1, 2, 3. I'm taking a shower that day. And I'm washing, got my eyes closed, and I'm like wondering why the fucking drain ain't working. I got that goddamn tub full of water. And I look down, and every hair from my body was in the drain. It looked like some giant sea monster. Yeah, mine fell out all at once. Every single hair on your body gone. You look like one of them, them guys that, muscle bodybuilders. I didn't want to look that way. But it saves me on haircuts. Here's the strange thing. And the reason I shave my head. It comes in blotches. But I can grow it on my chin. And the weird thing, this. Now, if you notice down here, it ain't dark. This is the strangest, it even drives my doctors crazy. I said, since nobody can explain it. Plus, they can't explain why I can't grow hair in my head, but I can grow it on my chin. So, now you got the Grumpy story. I don't tell everybody that. But yeah. And going on 11 years, I have been in and out of remission. I am probably one of the few cancer patients that about every 3 years I get to ring the big bell. Ding, 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 because I'm in remission. Most people ring it once. About every 3 years, they go, okay, Grumpy, go ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Last month, my oncologist, little Chinese guy, Dr. Tsi. First of all, he hates that I smoke. Here's how he greets me. They knock on the door. I'm not naked in the room. What are you knocking on the door for? But they knock on the door. And I tell him, go away. He opens the door. Now, I don't get this. Hi, Mr. Grumpy. How are you feeling today? He walks in and goes, you're still smoking. What, the pack of cigarettes in my pocket gave it away? What? I told you. It's on my chart. Smoker. You should smoke. I said, yeah. And I shouldn't attempt to drive in the Daytona 500 either. I'm not driving in the Daytona 500. I'm smoking. I've been smoking since I was 14, Doc. You should quit. I said, you know what kind of shock my body would go into if I quit smoking? I'd have massive heart failure. Plus, the oncologist before you and before her and before him told me this didn't cause my cancer. So if it didn't cause it, I ain't gonna quit. Here's another thing. What pisses me off. Hospitals play this fucking round robin, stealing doctors. I've gone through 4 oncologists in 11 years. You no sooner get to know them, and then Hospital B will say, hey, we're going to give you a little more money, we're going to give you a lab, we're going to give you a big staff, big office. Okay, I'm leaving. See, doctors have no loyalty to a hospital. They have a loyalty to the dollar sign. How do they expect patients to trust them when they bolt for a few bucks and a fancy office? So I'm now on Dr. C. However, it's 3 letters. TSE to C. First thing I asked him, after he gave me hell about smoking, how long you going to be around, Doc? Well, I've been here 29 years. That don't mean year 30 you're going to go over to the other hospital because they're going to offer you a few bucks and a little more retirement. I stay here. Okay, I'll get comfortable with you. I'm still smoking. What else? And then he gets pissed off and leaves. But he did tell me, since you rang the bell the last time, you're in good shape. Good. Because Grumpy wants to be around to try to figure a way to buy a Japanese mini truck, which I ain't having much luck. Oh, then, today. No, yesterday. Somebody bought it. My 2-tone green and white mini truck. Somebody bought it. I said, wonderful. So I told the salesman, well, I guess I won't be getting any more emails from you. He said, oh, yes, you will. No. You sold my mini truck. Guess what? He has another 2-tone green and white 91 Subaru Sambar coming in at the end of the month. I'll get a breather for emails until the 28th. Just happens to be another 2-tone green and white. 91. And this one. Now, the one he sold, 38,000 miles. Original. This one, 39,000 miles. Where do they find these trucks in Japan that are over 25 years old that hardly got any mileage on them? Although I know the island ain't that big. Most of the mini trucks he has, and he's got over 500, rarely hit 40,000 miles. Where do they... Is there something in Japan that says, oh, you can only drive 5 miles a day? That's it. We check you. He has. I would love to have it, just to piss my neighbors off. A 1990 Honda fire truck. Now, they got weird. It's not like what we got here, pumpers, ladders. They're like military troop carriers. So there's seats in the back and like garden hose. But it's a fire truck. It's 30 years old. 11,000 miles. I would love to have it. I don't want it. I want a two-tone green and white mini truck. He also has an ambulance. Nothing like our EMS units here in the States, believe me. You would cringe if they loaded you into this thing. No medical equipment whatsoever. Oh, I take that back. A blood pressure gauge. You know, you get into an ambulance today, monitors everywhere, electronic equipment, fancy cabinets with all kinds of stuff in them. Nope, not in Japan. A blood pressure meter. And a sink. It has a sink. I couldn't believe it. A sink. And a blood pressure meter. That's it. If you are in serious condition and they load you into that, basically when you get to the hospital, it's going to be like, too bad. Cover you with the sheet. Roll him out, Charlie. Son. Roll him out, Charlie, son. He no make it. Yeah. Don't look, Doc. Speaking of smoking, I got a story that goes back to the 70s. I had to go and find a new primary care doctor, okay? So there's one a couple blocks up that is taking new patients. Dr. Zinsmeister. I still remember the bastard. I go in for my first appointment. I'm sitting in the examination room, and in comes Dr. Zinsmeister. Hi, I'm Dr. Zinsmeister. Well, hi back. I'm grumpy old man. And he reaches to my pocket, and he pulls out a fresh pack of cigarettes and a Zippo lighter. Now, these ain't cheap, and they weren't cheap back in the 70s. And he says, you can pick these up at the reception desk when you leave. So out goes my cigarettes and my Zippo lighter to the reception desk. Appointment's over, and I walk up to the reception desk. And I said, Dr. Zinsmeister said my cigarettes and lighter are here. And both of the girls bust up laughing like I just told a Johnny Carson joke. And I said, what's so funny? She said, we don't have your cigarettes and lighter. Well, where are they? We don't know. What? Dr. Zinsmeister walked out to the bus stop and said, does anybody want a pack of cigarettes and a lighter? And somebody said yes. And he went, here you go. Yeah. He did that with every patient that smoked. He would walk out to the corner where the bus stop was and give away their cigarettes and lighter. Needless to say, any appointment after that, I left them in the console in the car, and just for good measure, locked the doors. Yeah. He gave them. Oh, I could see some guy sitting in the bus stop going, "Holy shit, a Zippo!" Dr. Zinsmeier going, "Yep, my patient wants you to enjoy it." A brand new Zippo lighter. And he did this with everybody. At least, doctors say, doesn't grab my cigarettes and walk them out to the front and give them away. But yeah, Dr. Zinsmeister got on my bad side real fast. I didn't stay with him too long. I couldn't afford to lose lighters if I forgot to take them out of my pocket. Yeah. So Grumpy gets just a little ruffled under the feathers when they mention smoking. Now, I know it's a bad habit, but I made a trade-off. I quit drinking. And that one hurt. Probably worse than the smoking. Because, see, Grumpy has this desire for Heineken beer. Oh, yeah. I used to drink it by the case. Matter of fact, I had a refrigerator I converted into a beer tap. Yeah, I put a little keg in the fridge, had the tap in the door. Unfortunately, alcoholic beverages and chemotherapy don't mix very well. So I had to quit drinking my Heineken. And then, what made matters worse? I told you about how friendly the guys are at the little mom and pop store. I come in one day, and I had been telling them how much I liked Heineken beer. They gave me this bottle opener. He said, "Here, you take." Because they sell these in their store. For you. You good customer. We know you like a Heineken beer. Problem is I can't use it. Well, I could open pop bottles with it, but yeah. It's been a interesting life, to say the least. That I survived childhood, for one. I have got to get them photos from my mother's scrapbook. Because nobody believes me. But yes, I had a Golden Gloves boxer for a father and a professional wrestler for a mother. Until they had me. And then the wrestling went away. Although she did practice on me after a while, Let me see if I remember a full Nelson. Oh! That ain't funny. Well, I'm staying in shape. Maybe I'll go back in the ring one day. Thank God that never happened. Holy shit. But yeah, interesting parents, to say the least. But my two prissy little sisters, they could do no wrong. Even if they did wrong, they could do no wrong. Because they knew who was getting the punishment if they did wrong. Grumpy. And then everybody wonders why I'm divorced 4 times. That's a story for another. We don't know. We don't even want to go that way. No, it brings up too many rotten memories. Yeah. I was dumb enough to do it 4 times. You would think, after the first one, okay, I'll dip my toe in the water for a second one. By the 4th one, I was dipping the whole body in the water. But the 4th one started out really interesting. Now, any people in the States will remember a food restaurant by the name of Boston Market. They're gone now, at least around here. Well, Grumpy met number 4 in the Boston Market because she was the assistant manager. And Grumpy had an affinity for the Boston Market meatloaf. There's a method to this. Hang on. Stick with me. Well, if you people in the States will remember, there was this nasty rumor going around that Boston Market's meatloaf was kangaroo meat. Don't ask me how the hell that got started, but yes, kangaroo meat. So, Boston Market has a wonderful marketing division, I'll say this. We had mentioned we were planning on getting married. The manager is like, wait a minute, I got an idea. But he don't tell me and he don't tell her. He calls corporate and he says, I have a way of deflecting this bad meat story. And corporate is like, really? How about we use my store as a wedding chapel and we play up the reason that these two have become almost a couple because he comes in for the meatloaf. Corporate is like, oh, we love it. So comes wedding day. Corporate had notified every single radio and TV station that they were going to have a wedding in the store. And you people across the pond, if you go back and look at your, I want to say Daily Mail, I can't remember the other newspaper, because I was in the newspaper across the pond. I was in every newspaper in the United States and Canada. I was on radio and TV. As a matter of fact, one radio station was doing a countdown to the wedding. They set the store up as a wedding chapel. There's fucking cameramen everywhere. They get a judge from the city to come in and marry us. They had a keyboardist and a guitarist and I can't remember who the third guy was, for wedding music. So Grumpy, blinded by love, gets married in the Boston market for the fourth time. And then the manager rolls out the wedding cake. Now, it looked nice. The wedding cake was layers of meatloaf and whipped mashed potatoes. And the cake was frosted with mashed potatoes. Yep. I had a meatloaf wedding cake. And boy, did they play up the meatloaf. Because when I was taking a bite, one of the guys from corporate who flew in from Bumfuck, Egypt, told all the newspaper photographers, well, all the news photographers and the cameramen, get a close-up of him eating that meatloaf. Yep. And for you non-believers, I was a full page in the National Enquirer. Yeah, standing there with my blushing bride, eating my meatloaf wedding cake. And boy, did they play that up. It ain't kangaroo meat. If it was kangaroo meat, you think he'd be eating it, let alone for a wedding cake? Yep. And now you all wonder why I'm 3 sandwiches short of a picnic. Imagine that. But I'll tell you what, after number 4, oh, there was no number 5. Oh, no. Nope. I should have stopped at number 1. And then I made the rounds. Wedding number 1 was in a Catholic church. Wedding number 2 was in a Lutheran church. Wedding number 3 was in a Presbyterian church. And wedding number 4 was a judge. I made the joke. If I was to do it the 5th time, it would be a rabbi. That way I'd have a... But there was not going to be no number 5. No. After number 4, who was a flaming idiot redhead, I swore off women completely. I wouldn't even say hi to him. For fear. I'd say hi. You want to get married? No. You didn't hear that from me. Yeah. Everybody was trying to fix me up. Oh, Grumpy, you got to be lonely. No. I discovered this thing called internet. Keeps me occupied. I don't think of women at all. Matter of fact, when I go to the grocery store, I wear blinders and look down for fear. I would say, gee, aren't the avocados really, really nice and ripe? Would you like to try an avocado and say some wedding vows? Nope. Grumpy has been quite happy single. Believe me. Yeah. 4 times. Yeah. And the last one, her temper was as hot as her red hair. Oh, whoa. Tell you how crazy she was. She slept with a loaded 38 under her pillow. Grumpy slept with a loaded 9mm under his. Just in case there was a gunfight at the OK Corral, I wanted to have a little more ammunition. Oh, yeah. She was crazy. And when she slept with it, she had her hand on it. Luckily, she didn't have her finger in the trigger, but she had her hand on it. Because I checked. When she'd be sawing wood, I pulled out my little flashlight and lifted the edge of the pillow. Holy shit! We better chamber one in the 9mm just in case. Imagine trying to sleep like that every night. Then they wonder why I have insomnia now. It's kind of stuck with me. But that's okay. There's a lot of interesting shit on TV now. You can watch anything and everything 24 hours a day now. Not back when I was growing up. Midnight, on come the test pattern, they played the national anthem to sign the station off. Now, station don't sign off anymore. I kind of miss the national anthem being played, though. But yeah, you can watch 24/7. That's why I got a 50-inch flat screen to cure my insomnia. So now you've had a full life of Grumpy, and you're lucky, folks. This is the first time I've ever told the whole story in one stream. I know I left a lot out in between, but you got it all now. And the only thing on my bucket list is a Japanese mini truck. The problem is, I have this big problem with my credit. I told that story earlier about the good friend. I won't fuck you, Grumpy. Just sign on this loan form for me so I can get this car. I don't know. Oh, we've been friends since we were this big. Come on. Do a buddy a favor. I don't know. Come on. We're buddies. We're pals. Oh, okay. So I go to the bank. And he signs. And then the banker said, you can sign right underneath. Well, I know I can. Do I want to? And then the banker, you're going to do this to your buddy? Someone you've known since you were a little kid? Come on. Oh, they have ways of browbeating you. Then in come the bank manager. Didn't you sign that yet? Your buddy's out here pacing the floor. Oh, God damn it, give me the form. Well, for 2.5 years, no problem. Then, my good buddy loses his job. Does he tell Grumpy? No. A national secret. We can't let that out. Customs and Border Protection don't want to. So one day, I get a call on my cell phone, and I look down, and it's the bank. I'm like, what? So I answer the phone. Grumpy here. Mr. Grumpy? Yes. When are you going to make that payment? What payment? Well, a loan payment. What loan payment? For the car. For the car? Yes, the car, Mr. Grumpy. It's 4 payments behind. Really? I'll call you right back. So I called my good buddy. I says, hey, you'll never guess who called me. I haven't the slightest idea. The bank. Click. Hello? Hello? And I haven't heard from him since. Needless to say, they repoed the car. And Grumpy's credit rating is so low right now that it's like at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. And it just happens to coincide with Grumpy wanting to buy a Japanese mini truck. I'm about as close to getting that mini truck as we are shooting a rocket to the sun. And I still haven't heard from my good buddy. He even moved. No forward. Yep. Childhood friend. And like the bank manager said, oh, he would never mess with you. Oh, he wouldn't fuck you. Yes, he did. And in the worst way. In my credit rating. See, banks don't kind of like to see repo. Yeah. My credit rating is so low right now that they have to send a robotic submersible down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench to look for it. Yeah, and the Mariana Trench is one of the deepest spots in the ocean. I'll save you gargling it. But if you want, gargle Mariana Trench. You'll see how deep it is. And at the bottom of the trench is Grumpy's credit. Yeah. Salute. So, I've been teasing myself looking at pictures of the mini truck. And he's getting another one. See, when he said sold, I was like, okay. No. There's one on the boat from Japan coming as we speak. Two-tone, green and white. Bought it from the same company. Because that's their fleet colors. I contacted the Navy. I said, perchance, do you have any submarines that you need to do a little target practice on? Like maybe torpedo a certain cargo ship? The Admiral didn't think I was funny. We can't do that, sir. Yeah. But there's a Japanese mini truck on that boat. And it would be better at the bottom of the ocean than getting off the dock in California. Because once that truck hits the dock, Grumpy is going to be inundated with emails and pictures. Because this salesman, when he thinks you got you hooked, yeah. Emails, pictures, voicemails. And I thought, when he told me it was sold, I'd get a reprieve. And life would go back to normal. Well, it will. Until after the 28th. Because that's when the ship is supposed to hit the dock in San Francisco. And the Navy won't sink it. Maybe I'll try the Air Force. See if they could drop a bomb on it. No, the Air Force, they don't want to start no international incident. So after the 28th, Grumpy's going to get tortured with pictures of a green and white Japanese mini truck. And for those of you that have never been here before and who are probably deciding to switch YouTube channels, I will show you the Japanese mini truck. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, I lucked out. I can't find it. What the hell happened? Maybe I deleted the picture. Oh no, it's here. The Japanese mini truck. The 1991 Subaru Sambar. There it is. Isn't it cute? It's adorable. Look at them little 12-inch wheels. And he's got another one coming in just identical to this one. Now, what's the chance? Really? What's the chance of there happen to be another one? It's on its way. It'll be here after the 28th. Whoopee. Oh well. Maybe I'll start a GoFundMe. Make an old crab ass happy. Donate for a Japanese mini truck. Yeah, like that would work. I don't see people flowing in hundreds of dollars going, oh, yeah, let's buy Grumpy a mini truck. lesson. Never, ever, ever put pen to paper for any friend that needs a loan. Because if they decide to fuck you, your credit rating will immediately be at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, like mine. So don't do it. No matter how they beg, how good of friends, even if they're family, take that pen and put it back in your pocket. And if the banker passes one, put that one in your pocket. Say thank you. And if he passes another one, say thank you. You'll leave with a box of pens by the end of the day. But you won't be signing no paperwork. No. But this is the way my luck runs. Because I'll tell you what, had he still been making payments, there would be no green and white Japanese mini. Take two. There would be no green and white Japanese mini truck in San Diego. See, it only happened because I got fucked. And it's not bad enough I get it once, I get it twice. So all you people out there, if anybody ever says, I need a favor, no, don't do it. Take it from Grumpy. Living proof that a friendship is not for life. It's only until you lose your job. And then it's, see ya. Oh yeah, he left the state. Now, I don't know if it's because of this, but it's kind of a coincidence that they repo his car and he packs his bags and leaves the state with no forwarding address. Gone. Gone. I talk to his sister every now and then. Hear from Sam? Nope. No idea where Sam is? Nope. Are you lying to me? Nope. He wouldn't even tell his family where he went. He's disappeared off the face of the earth. Now, I know he's not in Canada or Mexico because he doesn't have a passport. So he's somewhere in the United States. You think I'm going to look for him? No. Ain't going to do me no good if I found him. Damage is done. Lifetime friendship. Done. Did I think he would do this? No. Although I was really coerced. Believe me, I had second thoughts. And I should have followed my second thoughts. But no. Especially when the bank manager come in and went, oh, come on, he's your buddy. You've known him since you were little tykes. Hasn't he always been there for you? Oh, yeah. Hasn't he helped you out in time of need? Yeah. Aren't you going to do him this little favor? It's not a biggie. All it is a signature. It's not blood. Oh, give me the pen. And that's where I made my mistake. because it was signed in blood. Yeah. Urgh. I hate these shit they put in these cigarettes today. If you don't smoke them down to the filter, they go out. Well, I think I've driven everybody totally insane enough tonight. I think it's time to do the outro. It's nice seeing the chat. Oh, I love it. It's in different colors. Unfortunately, it's been going. I haven't been reading it. I'm sorry. I should have paid attention to it. But it's nice. I got it working. I'm going to have to figure out how to interact now. I got the chat. You can't see it. It's over on that side of the screen. And the clock. We got the clock. Oh, I didn't tell you. The bird's being punished. That's why he's wearing the station logo. Yeah. He dragged a hunk of roadkill in here and he put it under my console to hide it. And I found it. Well, my nose found it. So I said, you're going to wear the station logo forever. Well, I'll let him off one day, but I think he looks cute with it, don't you? Doesn't he look good? Got the banner. WDWL TV. Home of the Vulture. Yep, home of the Vulture. Okay. Outro time. No! No! God, this tablet's got a mind of its own. Wants to play everything except the outro. Here we go. Friends, we're on an upswing. I got the clock working. I got the chat working. I'm going to figure out how to interact and put the chat on the screen like professionals do. We're getting there. We're getting there. And Nomad, the videos work. Look at that. We got a chat. We got a fidget, a gidget, whatever they call that. And hopefully, I'll be able to interact with it. I'm a happy camper until the 28th. Then you know what's going to happen. Oh, if I didn't want that damn mini truck so bad, although I burned myself, I told him green and white's my favorite. Green is my favorite color. I bet when he was working that deal, he called Japan and said, you better find me another one, or quick, paint one. I need another 91 Sambar. But things are looking up, folks. We're up to 71 subscribers. I never thought we'd see it. We're headed for 100. We're going to get there. And I'm going to be able to interact with the chat one day. But have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. Take care, everyone. See ya. What happened to the see ya? Take two. See ya. My clicker isn't working. Take 3.